High value men are drawn to women with this self-worth. We're going to dive into this conversation today. Let's be honest. A lot of men are flying blind when it comes to dating. They're not clueless per se, but they're bad at the process. Maybe they're a little broken. And this cluelessness is because they were never taught. Well, this is kind of an exaggeration when I say they've never been taught, but the fact of the matter is most men haven't been taught what emotional clarity is. Let me repeat that: emotional clarity. Culture trains men to chase attraction, to focus the dating process on entertainment, romance, and physical connection. And that's it. There's no roadmap for healthy love. Let me repeat that. There's no roadmap for healthy love. Just a lot of swiping, banter, and hoping something sticks. Now, I know this title says high value, but what we're really talking about is emotional and available men. What is an emotionally available man? A man who actually recognizes that life partnership based relationships should be the approach. Emotionally available men have a long-term mating strategy, not a short-term mating strategy. And I recognize a lot of you women are frustrated because it seems like a lot of men only have a short-term mating strategy. Now, you know, my demographic, if you've been following my channel, is midlife, which is after baby making years and before retirement. So roughly 75% of single men and women out in the dating marketplace are divorced. And with divorce comes the unraveling of our tapestry within life with another human being. And oftentimes there are wounds that accumulate for both men and women, makes it very challenging to be in that emotionally available space, that space of wanting life partnership and have a long-term mating strategy. But the good news for those women that are watching this right now, I want you to know that there are emotionally available men. I want you to know that there are men that genuinely seek a life partnership-based relationship. They just need a little bit of help. And I know you'd love for them to come fully trained, fully housebroken. I know you'd love that. But guess what? There are some things you can do that can shift the narrative. I know listen, whether you're a man or woman, it might seem this way, but I'm here to share with you. We can flip the script, whether you're a man or woman watching this. So how do you flip the script before meeting? I'm going to share with you 6 things right now. And I want you to take note because this will make a big difference if you adopt this early in the dating process. If you embody what I'm about to share with you by being intentional. And here's how you become intentional in the dating process. So I want to be candid. I'm going to be reading from some notes. So bear with me because I might look down every once in a while. But I think you'll really appreciate this. So pull out your pen and paper, pause this for a second, grab that pen and paper and take notes because this will make a huge difference in your life if you embody this level of intentionality. And by the way, these are my Sunday videos where I don't curse, but I do want to read my coffee mug. Don't make me go all psycho roommate on you. So here's this, excuse that slurping, by the way. Here's the 6 things I want you to embody. The first, set the tone in your messaging. Set the tone in your messaging. Can someone write that down? Set the tone in the messaging. Instead of matching energy, I want you to set the energy of what, this is from the very first communication. I want you to set the energy. You can, for example, you could say something along the lines, I'm not looking for a pen pal or a surface level chat. I enjoy meaningful conversations and am open to meeting someone who values that too. See, today we have too much of like, hi, how you doing? Like, I do that Seinfeld joke. How's your day going? Did you have a good day? I hope you had a good day. Tell me about your day. Folks, set the tone from the very beginning that you're not here to play games, that you're not looking for a pen pal. You're not looking for a surface chat. I enjoy meaningful conversation and I'm open to meeting someone who values that too. By setting the tone from the very beginning, you're going to weed out the looky-loos fairly early on. And I know it's frustrating to recognize that there are a lot of looky-loos out there. You know, It didn't used to be this way. When I was single looking for love back in my 20s, it was a whole different ballgame. We went out to nightclubs looking for people, both my male friends and I. Um, Eventually did meet my now ex-wife through a video dating service. But back then we used to be intentional. I got the sense that we were all looking for, at least for us men, we were looking for the mother of our children. So we operated from that vantage point. And I'm here to encourage the same to you. If you want a life partnership based relationship, look at, if you're just getting back out in the dating marketplace and you want something casual, there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem with going from one casual relationship after another, it can wear on your heart. And I'm here to say it's time to change the narrative, and you get to set the tone by how you message someone. And again, lead with, hey, I'm looking for a serious conversation. Are you on the same page? Number two, ask substance-based questions. Ask substance-based questions. Ditch the what do you do for fun for what's one thing you're working on within yourself right now? What's one thing you're working on within yourself? Or what does a healthy relationship look like for you? What does a healthy relationship look like? You know, if a woman asked me that question, I'd be excited. She wanted to go deeper than just the surface. If she asked me, what does a healthy relationship look like for you? Most of you who follow my channel know what I might say next. I'm looking for a relationship where we spend 3 or 4 days and nights a week together, doing shared activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, traveling together, teamwork, building skills, both in our personal and our professional life, intimacy, both physical and emotional intimacy that leads to either moving in together or getting married. By the way, I invite you to write that down for yourself. Make that your long-term mating strategy. You can borrow mine. I'm more than happy to share that with you. I want you to think about that. Now, some might go, Jonathan, 3 or 4 days and nights a week together is too much. Well, what do you want? A part-time relationship where you see each other only once a week? Or do you want a full-blown relationship? I think having the mindset of what it looks like a year in the future is something you can adopt very early on. Does that mean after the first date you're going to see someone that much? Probably not. After the first month? Probably not. But by the time you get into the second month, but some of you are probably going, but Jonathan, I'm in a long distance relationship. We can't see each other that frequently. Just remember, long distance dating is problematic to begin with, and it takes time to build trust with someone through a variety of different circumstances. It's seeing them with your family and friends. It's seeing them when you're doing hobbies. It's seeing them in a crisis moment, like if you're traveling. Long distance dating oftentimes is a bubble type of relationship where you're amped up on the attraction, entertainment, romance, and the physical connection, and not building the deep roots of trust that sustain a life partnership-based relationship. So folks, ask those substance-based questions. And by the way, the one question you should ask every man or woman, what does commitment look like? Or what does commitment mean to you? What does commitment mean to you? If you ask me that question, here's what I'd share. Commitment is about roots with someone, but more importantly, building trust with someone. Feeling like I'm in a safe place to be who I am. That's what commitment means to me. Trust. And trust isn't just about fidelity. I know we had this conversation about cheaters not too long ago, but trust is, can I count on this person to be there for me when I need them? Does this person have my best interest at heart, and vice versa? That's what trust is. So start asking these substance-based questions as early as possible. But Jonathan, I don't want to sound like an interview. Folks, it is an interview, whether you like it or not. You can just do it in a fun, casual, flirty way. And if this turns someone off, I'm here to tell you, those are the looky-loos, not the men or women who genuinely want a serious relationship. Number 3, own your standards without apology. Own your standards without apology. I value depth, emotional maturity, and clarity. I'm not interested in casual dating. I'm exploring for something intentional. Let me repeat that to everyone. I value depth, emotional maturity, and clarity. I'm not interested in casual dating. I'm exploring for something intentional. By the way, we should be leading with these kind of conversations from the very first communication. I know that goes against the entertainment, attraction, romance-based way of dating, the physical connection. God, I'm screaming. Please forgive me. I'm supposed to be more subdued on my Sunday videos, but I get so excited because I want to encourage this sovereignty for yourself, particularly for women. Because sadly, I oftentimes see women give their power away to men. But Jonathan, men are the leaders of a relationship. Ladies, you are in charge of your relationship destiny. Don't give that to a guy. Don't give that to a guy. You are in charge of your destiny. You are in charge of your sovereignty. And let me just say this. If you haven't read my book, What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway? A Journey of Personal Development, Self-Help, and Spiritual Work. By the way, there's links below to get a copy of my book. I invite you to read this because it's about embracing your sovereignty. And by the way, the clock now says, bump, 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 11:11 on the meter there. All right, number 4, don't perform for their approval. Don't perform for approval. You're not auditioning. If he or she is not ready to meet you at the level you're living, he or she is not your person. You are not auditioning for a relationship. I can tell you quite frankly, I've done this. I've acted performative. I've auditioned. I've put people up on a pedestal. And I was always chasing their affections. I was always chasing love. I was always chasing validation. And I was always chasing approval. See, sadly, here in the United States, we are almost suckling on the nipple of, I need you to love me so I can feel good about myself. I need you to validate me, approve of me. Folks, when you are in your sovereignty, when you are operating from that self-worth place, you become a magnetic attractor for that person who's always in that space. And I know it can seem frustrating. I get it. I know it can be. But let me promise you this. If you operate from your sovereignty and non-attachment to the outcome, you will begin to have more enjoyable experiences. And you look at every date as an adventure from a place of curiosity. You're there just to collect data. And that data is do I like this person? Do I like this person? But am I leading by example? Would be a way to get there. Okay. Number 5. Leave when it's misaligned. In other words, early. Leave when it's misaligned. If a man or woman is inconsistent, vague, or avoidant, don't coach them and don't chase them. Disengage with grace and keep moving forward. Let me repeat that. Don't chase them, but did you hear me say don't coach them? Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've been someone's coach. It's kind of indicative of my nature, to want to help people. But I've been a better coach than I've been a better coach than I've been better to myself. It's not our job to fix someone. It's not our job to be with someone who's inconsistent. Leave when it's misaligned and leave early. I'd rather fail fast and dive in and fail fast than have it drag out. Do you know most dating today is almost just a long drawn out version of hooking up? Did you hear me say that? Today's dating is just a long drawn out version of hooking up. You're just hooking up each time. You're not working on building something because you're misaligned with a person. And I'm here to invite you to shift that narrative for yourself, because you'd be surprised how quickly, when your self-worth is established, you become a magnetic attractor for what you want. And lastly, number 6, let your energy do the screening. Let your energy do the screening. When you're grounded in self-worth and self-love, you filter out players and pull in partners. Real recognizes real. Someone write that in the chat box. Real recognizes real. When you are grounded in your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your sovereignty, when you're grounded in your self-worth, you filter out players and and want to be and love bombers and everything very quickly because your body can feel it. Do you know when you feel conflicted, that's your body saying something is off? Your regulatory system is saying something is off. And yet, sadly, we operate from a scarcity mentality. Well, this is the only person who likes me, so let me invest in them. Let me tell you, the right person invests in you when you adopt your sovereignty, your self-worth, your self-confidence, your self-love. The shift begins when women and men stop trying to fix people into readiness, instead attract people who are already leaning into their growth. I got to repeat that. Attract people who are already into their growth. You won't force a man or woman to be intentional. When you embody presence, that makes intention the only game in town, the only game on the table. And that's my invitation for everyone, to embody this sovereignty. Because when you do, like I said earlier, you're magnetic attractor for what you want. Is this sinking in? Is this resonating with you? If it is, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what I just shared on these 6 principles. Post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in the first 24 hours. As always, if you find value in my videos, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. And if you want to connect with me, hey, schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. There's a link below. Join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. Follow me on Instagram. Get my dating vows. You need this before you ever have sex with someone. It's listed below. Grab my dating vows. I think all the books I recommend are listed below as well. All right, I'm going to wrap up this video as I always do. First off, give myself a big, gigantic Jonathan Barrick of self-love. I'm going to reach into the camera and give you a hug of love if that's okay. I'm going to ask you to turn to someone, a pet, a teddy bear, a pillow, and give it or them a hug of love, because hugs are a great source of love. And let's face it, we could all use more love in our lives. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.